It began with a flicker. Just after midnight on June 14th, 2017, in the kitchen of a fourth-floor apartment in Grenfell Tower, a refrigerator caught fire. Smoke curled from the back of the unit. The resident called 999. Fire crews arrived within 6 minutes. At first, it seemed contained, the kind of fire London's firefighters extinguish every day. But Grenfell wasn't ordinary. The flames didn't stay inside the apartment. They slipped out a window and climbed the building's exterior, fast, hot, and unstoppable. By 12:30 a.m., the fire had reached the top floor of the 24-story tower. Grenfell burned like kindling in the sky. The cladding panels on the outside of the building, meant to improve insulation and appearance, were made of aluminum composite filled with polyethylene, a material known to be highly flammable. They acted like a chimney, drawing the fire upward in minutes. Inside, the scene was pure horror. Families woke to smoke and heat, some to the sound of neighbors screaming. Thick, black smoke poured through hallways. The lights failed. Fire alarms didn't sound. Residents tried to escape, only to find stairwells choked with smoke and doors too hot to touch. Some banged on windows. Others called loved ones, whispering prayers and goodbyes. A mother on the 23rd floor wrapped her baby in a blanket and dropped her from the window, hoping someone below would catch her. Somehow, the baby survived. Many others did not. The official advice had been to stay put, a policy meant to contain fires in individual flats. But Grenfell was different. The fire was outside, racing upward, circling back into homes through vents and cracks. By the time residents realized staying put was a death sentence, it was too late. Firefighters entered the tower over and over, through smoke so thick they couldn't see their hands. They carried people down stairwells, guided them by voice, pulled children from burning flats. Some were in tears. All of them knew there were more people trapped than they could reach. The fire raged for more than 24 hours. When it finally died, Grenfell was a blackened skeleton. 72 people were dead. Men, women, children, entire families erased. Others survived, but lost everything. And then came the questions. Grenfell Tower had been a public housing block, home to working-class families, many of them immigrants. Years earlier, residents had complained about fire safety: no sprinklers, poor ventilation, a single staircase for the entire building. Their warnings were ignored. The cladding used in the 2016 refurbishment was cheaper than safer alternatives. It had failed fire safety tests, but it was approved anyway. In the aftermath, a public inquiry began. Emails were revealed, warnings were uncovered, whistleblowers had spoken up, consultants had raised concerns, and yet, time after time, those in charge had looked the other way. The residents of Grenfell had lived in a death trap, made prettier for the outside world, made cheaper for the budget, and made lethal by negligence. And still, no one has gone to prison. Grenfell became a symbol, not just of tragedy, but of inequality, of people who screamed into the void for years and were answered with silence, of safety sacrificed for profit, of lives weighed against balance sheets. The tower still stands, wrapped in white sheeting, a monument to loss and failure. At its base, flowers and candles. On its walls, the names of the dead. And across the country, thousands more buildings were found to have the same deadly cladding. Grenfell wasn't a freak fire. It was the product of decisions, each one small, each one avoidable, and each one deadly. Thank you for listening to Road to Ruins. Subscribe for more true stories where systems fail and people pay the price.